Air Canada has now had its premium economy product on its wide-body fleet for roughly 10 years now, with its first introduction on the 787 Dreamliner, the 777, and additionally with the A330 following suit. With it having some seniority under its belt, does this product still stand up, and is it worth your money? Watch today as I take Air Canada's longest flight in premium economy. Enjoy. Good morning from a very beautiful and humid Singapore. I was very fortunate this time around to have some nice accommodations, and had the privilege to check out the dress rehearsal for the Singapore Independence Day flyover. I tend to enjoy my time here, and this was truly special to have. But all good things must come to an end, and it's time to wrap up another full lap around the world. Luckily, I was able to catch a direct flight right back home with my airline of choice. Air Canada took over this route from Singapore Airlines. Now this is Air Canada's longest non-stop flight across the network. This was previously held by Vancouver to Melbourne, which was actually the first video I ever made on this channel. This route ended during the pandemic and has since been discontinued indefinitely. Besides Australia, having more connections to Southeast Asia is great now with the addition of Manila and the Bangkok route being served year-round starting next year. Besides the obvious facts, it's time to get checked in at Terminal 2 here at Changi Airport. We got here a little bit later than we'd like to, so it was nice, simple and easy check-in process with no lineups, then it was straight to customs. As most of you might know by now, but for the uninformed, customs are done at automated gates here at Singapore, followed by security done at each individual gate. With Terminal 2 being Changi's second oldest terminal, the upkeep and amenities here are absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's also voted the best airport in the world for I don't know how many years at this point, a lot, but too bad we didn't give us a bit more time to see everything here. It's truly an attraction on its own. But anyways, here's our ride today, this 8-year-old 787-9 taking us the next 14 and a half hours back to Vancouver. This aircraft is painted in its Award of Excellence livery, giving back to the employees who have exceeded in their work fields and for giving a little bit of an extra hand to one another. By the way, this is the best name on the tail. Hi Gary! Just to make this very clear, this flight is shorter flying back east to Vancouver versus going to Singapore by almost 3 hours. That being said, it still typically follows the same route to and from, just with a bit of help from the jet stream. Despite the flight duration, it's still Air Canada's longest route. But anyways, this premium economy configuration is in its 232 layout, which is standard on the 787. Each seat has 19 inches of width and 38 inches of pitch. We're just gonna ignore the chocolate for now, but waiting at every seat is a bottle of water, a pair of disposable headphones which admittedly aren't very good, the amenity kit, or what I like to call it, an amenity grocery bag. We'll get to that in a bit, but what the seat includes is the IFE remote, so you're not constantly having to reach out your arm. This obviously controls the 11-inch Panasonic IFE screen, which can rotate, unlike in a regular economy seat. Under the screen is a USB-A and headphone jack, but there are better placed headphone jacks and universal power outlets both in the center console. There's a small storage hole which can only be best suited for cords. It doesn't make a lot of sense for how small this is, you can't even fit your phone in it, but in the newer premium economy seats, that storage space is a lot better utilized. Wrapping things up here, the headrests were fixed to the curvature of your head, and it honestly wasn't too bad. We got an okay seat back pocket with a second smaller one to compensate for its overall size, and decently sized footrest which actually came in handy when I was sleeping. As I've flown with Air Canada numerous times, I'm pretty in tune with the IFE system, and it's honestly one of the best in North America. It's always up to date with the new releases, so I'm always up to date with having something new and interesting to watch. That's why I tend to overfill my favorites list on the system, just so I can touch back on it a little bit later. How about flying to a new destination and wanting some more recommendations? Well, I'm all for that, and they got that covered too. One of the things I will note is the hardware is somewhat starting to show its age and can't really keep up with all the new Android updates, so it tends to lag here and there. but it's still a great system overall. Right before pushing back, a pre-departure beverage of orange juice, sparkling water or wine was offered. This was done in a requisite plastic cup, which is a bit expected from premium economy. Paper menus were not stocked on this flight for premium economy, but today's menu can be browsed on the IFE screen. Additionally, with one flight attendant going to every passenger and taking meal selections. Normally small paper menus are handed out, but I guess the catering company here didn't have them stocked today. This premium economy layout is a bit more generous than what you'd find on some A350s, where some airlines use a 2-4-2 layout. Most Airbus wide-body operators like Lufthansa have their premium economy laid out in a standard 2-3-2. As I was obviously not sitting in a window seat, I couldn't get to those filler takeoff views. But here are some takeoff views out of Singapore you can expect the next time I'm flying out of here. While this seat might not come across as international business class, it really does make up for it in service. The front half of Air Canada's international premium economy is honestly borderline business class. The meal starts off with a hot towel, followed by Twix pretzels, and a beverage served in glassware. It's a mixed bag on other airlines whether or not you get served glassware in premium economy, but I love to see it here. Where this really stands out as a borderline business product is the meal. Yes, it's all served on one tray, but actual porcelain plates? Yeah, this is a step above. Not to mention this meal would probably be the exact same one that you'd get served in business class. So can you really tell the difference? This was a paneer butter masala. Yes, this was a vegetarian meal, but it honestly looked way better than the other option of a herb roasted chicken thigh. Not to mention this tasted absolutely fantastic, aromatic, and flavorful. For outstation catering, this is actually a pretty decent meal. One of the benefits that Air Canada has in its premium economy product is one of the front lavatories is dedicated to premium economy. That being said, it's the exact same as the regular business class lavatory, which are by the second set of doors, and are the ones with a view. It's a spacious 787 lavatory affair with hand lotion and soap from Edition Voyage. If there's one thing I really gotta nitpick is I wish Air Canada would add the Dreamliner changing stools, but this is still a pretty good and clean lavatory nonetheless. Now for the amenity goodies. This is a bare bones amenity kit with the essentials of a dental kit, socks, and an eye mask. Look, I'm not crazy about the grocery bag, but also keep in mind that Lufthansa was doing the exact same thing in international business class for quite some time. Even with its cool design prints, I'm kinda glad that's over. The premium economy kits used to be in pouches, which was a lot better option to have. I wouldn't call this a fall from grace after that great meal service, but if you need a reminder that yes, this is still somewhat an economy product, your standard scratchy pillow and thin blanket is the exact same one that you'll receive in the back of the bus. And to be honest, that pillow is best used for lumbar support for more than anything. But you know what, this was still half decent. The spacious seat really helped to get some proper rest in. On a good note, I actually got a solid 8 hours of sleep. It's a bit ironic, and I've had this in the past, that I sleep better upright versus a business class bed. Yeah, I know. But regardless, it's time for breakfast as it's already 7 AM in Vancouver. Here's the back half of Air Canada's premium economy service, which is just a regular economy meal. And you know, this just tasted fine. If you want another reminder telling you that yes, this is a premium economy product, and just to hit it home, there was disposable cutlery and plastic cups. But my coffee was in a mug, so somewhat inconsistent. So that being said, is premium economy really worth it? That question gets brought up a lot. Well, over lots of past experience, if the fare is a decent price and you value the extra space over economy, then yes. Look, I'm a fairly short guy and I don't mind sitting in economy, especially in the middle seat. But maybe someone that's 6'2" would value the seat a lot more than me. And this is a prime candidate for the leisure traveler who doesn't want to blow a hole in their wallet. You know, this is still a good premium economy seat after 10 years in service. And even with the newer products that other airlines are bringing online, looks absolutely amazing. Even the ones on the A330 are great too. And even better than this seat. By the way, these A330 seats are the exact same seat as the business class on the A220. Speaking of narrow bodies, the main meal service is the exact same one that you'd get on a domestic or transborder business class narrow body flight like Vancouver to LA, for example. You know, this is still pretty good, but how this can be easily improved? Throw a few more business class omelets and pancakes on board. It's a relatively cheap fix and makes the second meal service a bit more enjoyable. And you know what, this was still a great product to try again after a hiatus of many years. And of course, if a good opportunity arises again, I'll gladly take premium economy. Well, it's time to head home and enjoy what was a great summer in Vancouver. Thanks again for taking time to watch this review, and put up with my terrible voice that got lost after Game 6 of the Blue Jays game.
Let's go Blue Jays! Let's go Blue Jays!
Besides all that, if you'd like to help out the channel and bring more content like this one to light, what you can do is feel free to drop a like and subscribe. It truly means a lot. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.